time for another Mountaineer Rants.
Welcome to Mountaineer Rants. I'm Terry, this is Paul. We're Mountaineers.
Today we're going to talk about some of our competition. By the way, there are other people that do WVU football and WVU sports on YouTube and Facebook and all. We're on all of those things. Some of those guys are awful. Some of those guys are
pretty good.
They put you right to sleep.
Well, there is that.
They're trying to sell something. We don't sell anything. We don't make any money off of this. If we did, we'd probably give to the university or buy tickets with it. But we're just here to share West Virginia information and rants with
and our opinions. Exactly.
But some of them on there will put you to sleep, and don't judge all of them by that. There's a few you need to keep in mind. One of them was Gold and Blue Dude was one of the first ones.
Yes, Gold and Blue Dude. There was a guy who did a regular podcast called Gold and Blue Dude, and may he rest in peace because he is gone with us now. I didn't always agree with what he said, but he was energetic. He was a true blue Mountaineer.
The little rascal came on and told us that we were on our way to the ACC. That's how he sucked us in. We watched his stuff on a regular basis. He was kind of hyper. He did some pretty good editing, but he put up a lot of stuff. And he predicted games. He knew stuff about the games, even remote games. Yes. He was entertaining as could be, and the boy apparently had some health problems since passed.
We miss you, brother, and prayers out to the family and friends of all those who Gold and Blue Dude. So.
Another one that's similar is Couz's Corner. Yes. We'll give you the link to him in our description.
He actually reached out to us in one of our videos and sent us an email or a comment about some stuff, and he has some pretty good content, and he's got a lot of information. And
Couz is moving up. He's got more subscribers. He's got some sponsors. He knows a little bit about the game. He gives you his opinion. Now, again, same thing. We disagree with some of his opinions, but he's worth listening to. Even if he won't put you to sleep like some of them will, depending on the broadcast.
Sometimes I have nicknamed him Snooze's Corner. Sometimes, so hopefully that's easy. Couz, don't get too mad at me.
Mountaineer Paul is another one. A little guy that's a very loyal Mountaineer fan. I see him occasionally. I don't follow him as much, but he's a good fan. He's worth a look too. The one that I like is called Go Deep by a fellow named Forrest Poston. Forrest is
just started not too long ago. He just started his channel here within the last couple of months.
Don't know a lot about him. He's kind of an odd duck. He sits there in front of his computer with a cat and tells you about the football team. But he knows something about football, and he's thought about it. And he just sits there and talks football, kind of like you might with an intelligent guy at a bar someplace.
I agree with a lot of what he says, so I like the guy a lot. He obviously has got some connection, or has been a coach or a player at some point, because I think the guy knows more about football than a lot of them that are also out there doing it right now. That's my opinion.
He's thought about it, and he's got some conclusion. But again, I'm like you. I mean, when somebody says something you agree with, it's hard not to like him. And he believes in some of the basic football principles that we do, and he ignores some of the conventional nonsense that gets repeated by those who don't know what the hell they're talking about. And there's a lot of them around.
Yeah, there is plenty of those.
Now, you also like one called In the Gun.
In the Gun, yeah, that's bad. It covers a lot more stuff. It's a little more in depth, but I think they do a pretty good job too. Of
that's the one that has Owen Schmidt, former West Virginia football player, on there.
The runaway beer truck, right?
Along with a guy named Skylar Callahan and Jed Drenning.
Yeah. So there's legitimacy there because Jed Drenning does stuff for the university too, and you hear Tony Caridi interview him and stuff on some of that.
I've been a big fan of Owen Schmidt, and I've seen some of their podcasts that are pretty good. They've also put me to sleep. I've also they take a long time getting around to meeting the substance.
We do that too sometimes.
The other one that falls just sort of in my mind is Three Guys Before the Game. There's a lot of good information from those three guys.
Absolutely.
It's just you got to have time to sit down and listen to all of it.
They're long. They're long podcasts, and they do a lot of stuff with the fans, with textual healing, and they got Hoppy Kercheval Ale, the beer that they sell now that came out of them. So they're really good, and they've been around, 500, 600 shows. They're on trying to get 800. And they're good. I enjoy it, but it's a long podcast.
They do basketball, they do football, they interview coaches and players, and they'll talk about nonsense as well as the sports, because they've got some advertising in there that they have to work in. No, I think it's probably worth your time if you've got the time, because if you want just a quick encapsulated version, that's not where you want to go.
And it's Tony Caridi is one of them, and he's the announcer. He's the voice of the Mountaineers.
You gotta love Tony. There's part of you wants to be able to download that stuff and listen to it in the car or something in some other way. Maybe people can do that, but
that's the best
it's
way
if you're busy. Now there are some others. There's Duggity Dog, and there's some. One of the other ones that I like is put out by Country Roads Trust. Yeah. Country Roads Trust has done at least 2 that I've watched. One was an interview with Garrett Green. Another one was an interview with both Garrett Green and Nico Markel. And of course, the Country Roads Trust is the NIL arm of West Virginia that pays the players, and you can contribute to the trust, and they'll make sure that all the athletes, basketball, football, etc., get some kind of compensation through NIL. That's how we compete. They have a pretty good interviewer.
Yeah,
and
the interviews are good. Amanda Mazie, it's baseball coach's wife.
Yes, Amanda Mazie is Coach Mazie, the baseball coach's wife, and she does the interview. I think you'll like that. Check out Country Roads Trust. Those are the others. We'll try and put some of that information down below. We don't have much to offer in the way of opponents broadcasts. There are a couple coming out of Pittsburgh and a couple of the big name ones.
Well, the one from Baylor is pretty good. I can't remember the name of it, but they do a show that's pretty good, but they don't like West Virginia so much. Actually, they've had Tony Caridi on, but I don't have the name of that. So
here's the other problem you have with these guys is you're going to get conventional wisdom. You're not going to get any real analysis. Conventional wisdom is somebody on the West Coast that picks up 2 paragraphs off of CBS and says, oh, West Virginia, well, the coach is on the hot seat and they've lost their quarterback and they've got a line coming back. Right. That's all he knows. Yeah. And so that's what most of these things are. When they say they're doing a preview of a team, you need to get somebody that's actually paid attention to the team. Couz has paid attention to the team. Mountaineer Paul has. Certainly Go Deep, and Forrest Poston has, and we have. Maybe wrong, but we'll give you an insight.
It's are you putting the content out there to get likes, views, subscriptions, and money, or are you putting it out there because you just want to share your opinion with other Mountaineer fans? I think that's where it breaks down, in my opinion.
My rant is that some of it's self-indulgence. An awful lot of people just want to be on TV. They say, "Look at me."
I do too.
We have face for radio.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt about that.
But
and a body for it too.
If you just want to be on TV, then you get the camera on, you start talking, and you think everybody wants to hear what you had for breakfast and what you thought about this, and say hello to each other and all of that. We don't want to do that. In fact, I'm a little uncomfortable with this one because we haven't talked about the Mountaineers.
We haven't talked about that exactly.
But now you know how to find some other information when and if you can't find us. We'll be back again with another Mountaineer Rants very soon.
Thanks for watching.